Brent asked us a question, right?
Yeah.
What was that again?
I think he was talking about politics and youth sports.
Which there's a stupid amount of, and it makes. And I know firsthand from what I've just gone through, in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, me coaching high school baseball, you kind of see it as well. Yeah. I mean, parents think that they need to, it's nice to have parents that help with the program and everything like that, but with them helping, they think that is enough to guarantee their kid something. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It's funny. There's always a little bit of every type of inappropriateness in youth sports. There's the parents who help out as much as they can so their kids get special treatment. Mm-hmm. There's the parents who don't give a shit about your kid or anybody else's kid, only their own, and literally screams at people and the refs, other players. Their kid takes out a player. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's insane. There's also the parents who just want to help out. They don't expect anything back. They just want to be part of it. I would say that's probably about 25%, though. You know what I mean?
Definitely the minority there. But then you have a lot of parents that just really don't care about anything at all.
They don't even show up.
Yeah, they don't care about practice. They don't care about games.
It's just a way for the kids to get babysat.
Yeah, yeah. That you notice that in the younger kids. I mean, you coach 5th, 6th graders or whatever. It's kind of probably in that area. I can just drop my kid off at practice and I'm good to do whatever I want for the next hour and a half.
We don't want them there anyway.
It's probably true, but you know what? I mean, just
the parent that stands at practice and tries to tell you about their opinions on what you should do with the team and what you should do with their kid. The coach, just so every parent out there knows, if you've ever gone up to your coach and given your opinion, that coach 100% of the time has not given a fuck. Just so everybody knows. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I've told parents that I'm doing this as a volunteer. You had the opportunity to be a volunteer to do this.
Yep.
And that you didn't take that opportunity to do it. I did. So when your kid's with me, they're on my time.
Right. Another thing too is with a coach, and it doesn't in high school, youth sports, doesn't matter. If you watch just someone's kid, you're not coaching. You have to watch everybody. You have to do what's best for the whole team. You know what I mean? You don't give a crap about a parent's opinion on a kid's playing time when you drop your kid off at practice, you leave, and your kid's an unruly, selfish person, and he gets other people in trouble, and he doesn't care about working hard. Sorry. It is, your kid's going to play no matter what, but he's not going to be put into prime positions if he doesn't know what he's doing and hasn't worked for it. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Is there more talented kids that probably should be playing more premier positions in any sport? Yup. But it's the parents' fault they don't.
Well, I don't have any kids, but last weekend I went to a friend of mine. His son plays basketball, and I think he's probably 11, maybe 11 or 12, and they're a really good team, and they're playing against a really good team, so it was kind of ultra competitive, but it kind of just took me back. Like, they're getting on the ref, yelling. Parents are yelling at the refs. Coaches, like, anytime a kid made a mistake, the coach looked like his dog died. Like, one thing I always heard about coaching, and I don't know, I've never been a coach, so I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounded good to me when I heard it, is coaches should do all their, like, instruction during practice and then let the kids enjoy the game. And I'm not saying you can't, like, correct their mistakes, but I don't know, this coach that I was watching him in particular is just had this agonized look on his face whenever a kid made a mistake, and I'm just like, I don't see how a kid can enjoy this. It did not seem like an enjoyable environment for an 11, 12-year-old kid to play basketball in.
Right. Not only should the kids be having fun during the game, but maybe the coach should figure out to have fun during the game. You have practice. that's the time to be a hard ass. That's the time to build in your culture. That's the time to build up your work ethic. That's the time to instruct on plays and fundamentals. When you're in a game, that kid has forgot about everything you've done in practice all week.
Yeah.
Everything that you've taught him has become instinctual, and hopefully they do it correctly. Most of the time, they don't, and they're just kids. And these parents' kids aren't going to go to college. They're not as good as they think they are. They're just not.
I mean, when we played for Falwell, don't you remember how? I mean, we had Coach Mike, Coach Dana, Coach Ed, and we were a really good team. I mean, not to go back on park board days, but if you were like me, you hated practice. We spent practice doing up downs. We were running around the entire dang park. You looked forward to games because games were fun.
Yeah.
Games were a lot of fun, and it was I'm going to put in all this work during the week, and it's going to pay off in the game, later in the week, and that's kind of what we looked for, and that's what it seemed like our coaches were like that as well.
I mean, it's been a long time, but I look back on it, and the fondest memories I have of playing basketball at that age was the car ride to the game and just, like, anticipating, like, how much I'm going to enjoy this, like, and like you said, even the stuff, like, kids don't always remember what they're taught in practice. Like, I remember we probably ran one or two plays, but other than that, it was just going out there and just playing basketball, and having fun.
Yeah, I didn't have fun playing basketball in park board. I was on a team that got beat 96-0 or something like that. So tells you how good my team was.
But when you're that age, like when I remember being like a kid, like if you lost, you didn't look back at like a specific player or two where you could have done something different. It was basically that team just had better players than us.
Yep.
And that's why we lost. Like,
yep. Some people are just bigger and faster.
That's why I don't understand, like, youth coaches think, like, the guy I saw on that Saturday, I'm like, this guy thinks he's Greg Popovich. It's like, be a coach, but, like, man, don't just let him be for a little bit. Like, let him go out there and play. I don't know. Like, if they make a mistake during a timeout, like, remind them. But I don't know, like, all this painstaking looks on your faces and, acting like, your dog just got ran over after every, like, turnover. It's like, I just didn't get it. Like, it seemed kind of weird to me.
Yeah, you also have to come up with creative ways to build fundamentals into your kids. You can't say, hey, you need to fix this,
Yeah.
Be kind of a smart ass with them. Poke them a little bit. Challenge them. If they sense you kidding around, they sense it if you're actually genuine. They sense you having fun in games. Even if you're losing by 30, if it's football, you're losing by 20 if it's basketball. If you're uplifting and positive, the kid's going to remember the most plays. The kids are going to remember the best plays from that game and take that into practice that week and then remember it for the next game. If you're always negative, the kids are going to remember them being bad. Yeah. They're going to remember in the games when they were negative instead of positive. Right? And it's hard to teach during an actual game because they're so they're so amped up to play and their adrenaline's going. Even these little kids, they have adrenaline and they're happy and they want to be there and they're excited. They ain't going to remember what you're talking about in a game. Obviously, you can coach them plays. You can in baseball, you can show them what pitches you want. You can show them a steal sign. That's about all you're going to get out of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, yeah, you can if your players are having success and you sense that, you can build on it and maybe do an infield. I don't know, is it legal to do an infield shift in baseball in the youth baseball? I don't know.
I mean, I guess I haven't looked at the book too much, but I don't see that really being an issue. I've never coached against another coach that has done it. So I guess I don't know unless I looked at the book as far as high school goes.
Yeah, because if you're having fun with your kids and they're learning your schemes and they're learning what you want to do, I don't see any reason why you can't keep giving them more information At the same time, if you want to give them, if you're a youth basketball coach and you're coaching sixth graders, and you want to give your team 10 plays, if they run those 10 plays good, that's fine. But if they only can run 2 good, don't force 3, 4, and 5 down their throat. They haven't figured out 1 and 2 yet. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that these kids are picking up on what you're giving them in the first place.
Well, I mean, in football especially, there's so many different variations you can run to run the exact same play.
Yep.
Just a slight little, different formation or something, but the play is the exact same.
Yep.
Or you can run to the completely opposite side of where you just ran it. It's the same play, just on the other side,
Yeah, youth sports, the politics is ridiculous. The parents are a little overboard. They're only watching their own kids, so they see every little thing with their kid. In football, they'll see every little hold, every little swipe of their kid's face mask, and scream and act like it's a travesty that happened. It's not. It's football. I mean, these kids are going at each other as hard as they can. Their hands are going to slip up into a face. They're going to hold. They're taught to hold. You think your kid's not going to get held? I teach your kid to hold, right? So
just do it so it's not obvious.
Right. I mean, if you get beat to the inside and you know that, and you're playing left tackle and you know that defensive end's on a beeline to the quarterback, you better hold. I mean, the official make the call.
I always remember in obviously park board and in high school, the coach would always, if during practice he would come up to you and basically yell at you and tell you, this is how you block, and you'd pretty much grab them where the shoulder pads come here, and you grab them there. And I always kind of thought, well, that's kind of holding because you're grabbing there and holding them there. Well, it's a hold, but it's not really a hold.
The hand placement's even lower now. Instead of like this, like they taught us with your thumbs. Mm-hmm. So you're not going like this. It forces you to come up. And then as you start scraping onto the shoulder pad, your hands naturally just fit in and you literally lift them off the ground. And you got to keep your hands on the inside. Nobody can see what I'm doing.
But yeah, there's a lot of politics in youth sports.